First, let me make it clear that I am a straight or heterosexual man. My study and understanding about sex and gender might be limited, so feel free to add your inputs in the comment box down below. Sex and gender. You might think that these two are very similar, but they are actually very different from each other. First, let's talk about sex. In this case, a person's sex is the biological classification of being a female or male, often assigned at birth in a social, legal, and medical perspective. Sex is a person's combination of bodily characteristics that include chromosomes, XX for female and XY for male, hormones, reproductive organs, penis for male and vagina for female, secondary sex characteristics such as beer or Adam apple on male or breast on female. Gender, on the other hand, is a whole different dynamic for discussion, in which there are many debates and studies dedicated to its significance on people's lives. For some, gender can be seen as how one identifies oneself in a social construct identity. Gender identity. A person's internal, deeply held sense of sexual identity not confused with sex characteristics. On average, most people have a gender identity of being a man or a woman. When you are born, if you have a penis, you are a man. If you have a vagina, you are a woman. However, it is important to note that you have no say in what gender role you will be raised as after you are born. What would happen if you are born intersex? Which means your genitalia does not fit into any traditional definition of male or female standard. According to the research of Intersex Society of North America, 1 out of every 2,000 people is born as intersex and needs immediate surgery to make the body fit into the definition standard of male or female. So what would happen if you identify as a male, but your body was surgically fixed as a female when you are born? This question also applies to female identity, but male sex body traits. Gender expression. External manifestation of gender expressed through name, John versus Lisa, pronoun, he versus she, clothing, haircut, short versus long, behavior, voice, low, deep versus high, body characteristics. Gender is a social category. A person's gender reflects on the person's social role, appearance, behavior, and expression expected of a person based on the social norms for the standard definition of male and female. For example, in the past and still today, some people believe in gender roles which based on the norms or standard created by the society. In the USA, the role of a male is expected to be masculine, which is associated with strong aggression, non-emotional, competitive, independent, and dominant, while female role is expected to be feminine, that associated with weak, passive, emotional, nurturing, compassion, dependent, submissive. I personally do not agree with the stereotypical roles for males and females. With the new era, the social and gender roles are constantly being changed. I believe that gender is a social construct in which that gender is something that we create within our society. Think about it. Our views on masculinity and femininity are different now compared to what they were used to be in the past. The man versus woman's gender roles are very different compared to the 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, and 1,000 years ago. So how did gender role develop or construct? How did we as a society believe in gender stereotypes? Gender socialization starts right after we are born and develop through family, education, peer groups, and social media. Think about it. Right after we are born, we already got bombarded with gifts like it's a boy or it's a girl, or colors and clothes that represent what a baby boy or baby girl should wear. Repetition of gender socialization over time, it leads men and women into beliefs that their behavior is natural and normal according to the social norms. It is important to note that the values and expectations surrounding gender roles are not based on individuals' different beliefs, values, and identity. Instead, they are based on the stereotypes about traits or behavior patterns of how men and women should act in a society.